You know that feeling, that deep, nagging anxiety that you're falling behind? That you've wasted years on the wrong career, or the wrong degree, or maybe the wrong person? Yeah, our culture is just obsessed with productivity, and it creates this constant pressure. But today, we're going to take that fear apart. Because what if? What if almost nothing is ever really a waste of time?
I mean, the pressure is on from the moment we wake up, right? This relentless push to optimize everything, to squeeze every last drop of value out of every single second.
And the message we get is always the same: accelerate, go faster, do more, climb higher. And whatever you do, don't you dare fall behind.
To always be competing, to constantly be measuring yourself against, well, against everyone else in this endless race that doesn't even have a finish line.
And of course, to measure your entire life in milestones. Just checking off boxes on some imaginary project plan instead of actually, well, living.
So let's just stop and breathe and really sit with that question for a second. What if all those detours, all those so-called mistakes, weren't mistakes at all? What if they were actually part of the whole point? That's the big idea we're going to unpack right now.
Okay, so our first reframe is all about how we learn. And it turns out those wrong turns we take, they're not just frustrating setbacks. They are essential data that helps us build a life that actually fits who we are. Okay, now get this, because this is where the neuroscience comes in, and it's fascinating. Our brains are literally hardwired to learn more from our mistakes than from our easy wins. There's this thing called prediction error. It's what happens when reality doesn't quite match what you expected. Your brain basically lights up and goes, "Whoa, hold on, pay attention, we need to update the map." So that sinking feeling of disappointment, that's not failure. That is literally your brain recalibrating itself for the future. It's learning in action. And this is how we can start to reframe those experiences. So you think you wasted 2 years in a bad job? No way. That was a masterclass in navigating difficult people. That's social intelligence. That degree you never ended up using? It taught you discipline, how to stick with a long-term goal. Every single experience builds on the last, adding these hidden, super valuable layers. And here's the real takeaway from this first idea. Knowing what you don't want is one of the most productive things you can do. Every time you realize, nope, this is not for me, you get one step closer to what is for you. You're not lost, you're just eliminating options. You're getting clearer with every single choice you make. All right, on to our second big reframe. Let's zoom out a bit. We're going to move from looking at individual wrong turns to the bigger, messier, and totally non-linear way we grow over an entire lifetime. I absolutely love this quote because it just hits on such a deep truth. We want life to be this neat, straight line, but it never, ever is. The real meaning of that breakup or that detour or that year you felt totally lost, it usually only becomes clear when you're looking back on it. You're not living a checklist, you're building a story. And the best stories always have plot twists. And yeah, some of those plot twists can really feel like you're going backward. But there's this powerful idea in psychology called post-traumatic growth. It's the concept that going through really hard times can lead to incredible positive change. Think about it. Real strength, real resilience, that stuff isn't built when things are easy. It's forged in the fire. So what feels like a major setback might actually be the very thing that's expanding who you are. Just think about it like nature, right? A forest doesn't just grow all the time. It has cycles. It has seasons of big expansion, sure, but then it needs periods of rest. And then there's decay, where old things have to fall away to make room. And only after all that can renewal happen. Well, your life works the same way. A period that looks quiet or unproductive from the outside might just be a necessary winter before your next spring. And that brings us to our third, and maybe the most powerful reframe of all. This is the one that challenges the entire idea that got us started, this myth that life is some kind of race. This is it. This is the whole thing. The only reason we feel like we're wasting time is because we're looking over our shoulder, comparing our path to someone else's. We see their highlights, and we think we're behind. But those timelines, they're completely made up. They're just social constructs. There's no universal scoreboard. Your journey is yours, and it happens on its own unique schedule. And if you still need proof that doing nothing is actually productive, here's the science for you. When your mind is wandering, when you're bored, when you're just resting, your brain isn't turned off. It's actually firing up this incredible system called the default mode network. And this is where the magic happens. It's where your brain connects random ideas, where it solidifies memories, and where it literally works on the story of who you are.
Your brain is never off. It's just in a different, highly creative mode. So all that wasted time you spent daydreaming or just staring out the window, it wasn't wasted at all. It was crucial processing time. Stillness isn't empty space. It's the space where the best insights are born. We absolutely need it.
Okay, so let's tie this all together now. What's the big takeaway when we shift our entire perspective on what it means to waste time?
It really just boils down to this. If the goal of life was just to be as efficient as possible, we would have to strip out everything that actually makes it meaningful. Risk, love, heartbreak, connection. We're not machines built to be optimized. We are here for the full, messy, complicated, beautiful experience of it all. That experience isn't some distraction from life, it is life.
This right here should be our new mantra. As long as you're learning from what happens to you, as long as you're gaining a little more self-knowledge and adjusting your path based on that feedback, then nothing, absolutely nothing, was ever wasted. So let's just go ahead and completely reject the premise we started with. Your value as a human being is not measured by your output. You are not a machine on an assembly line. You're here for the journey. You are here to experience it all, to explore the possibilities, and to become the person that all of those experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, shape you into. So I'll just leave you with this final and hopefully liberating question. If you truly, deeply believed that no time could ever be wasted, that every step is just new information, what would you have the courage to try next? What would you do if you weren't so afraid of getting it wrong?